Hypno is the third raid of the 2025 Halloween event in PokeMMO. A pretty straightforward one. Things of note, Hypno has massive special defense. For locations, in Kanto, there's Berry Forest, Johto is Route 39, Hoenn is Route 17, Sinnoh has Fuego Ironworks, you do need Surf for that. Unova's Dreamyard, if you have access to Unova, I recommend Dreamyard, it's very easy to get to. Hypno's moveset is Psychic, Foul Play, Focus Blast, and Grass Knot. If you're new to raids, Focus Blast will never miss, I think, or pretty much never miss. As far as the moveset goes, it's not all that relevant to the fight. The mechanics of the battle will go as follows. Hypno leads with a Reflect. At 75%, it will cast Hypnosis. At 60%, it'll hit a Trick Room. And then 33%, it will do Inverted Space, which is a type inversion, making super effective moves not very effective and not very effective moves super effective. Just to give you a quick baseline of what a team composition could look like, I recommend doing a mixture of Sun, using fire physical attackers, a few Sucker Punch Mons, a Trick Room Mon, and then fighting Mons to end the fight when the types are inversions. Fighting will be super effective. Definitely go with Flare Blitz users, special attackers. You could use Charizard in a pinch. Weather Ball, I think, did around 5% with the Solar Power boosted Weather Ball. But in general, Flare Blitz is the way to go. Typically, you'll be using things like Emboar, Darmanitan, Flareon can work, Rapidash can work. I think Arcanine gets it, Entei if you have it, those sorts of things. Physical fire attackers. For Sucker Punch, you'll want that for priority when we're dealing with Trick Room. Things like Honchkrow, Absol, those work. I recommend Sucker Punching in turn 2, just in case they live into the next turn. I recommend Spiritomb for Trick Room on turn 2. That way you can use Sucker Punch after in case it lives. You'll see in the fight in a second, ours lived for a while. And then Sucker Punch thereafter. You're using Sucker Punch because you want to set Trick Room before Hypno uses it. Then Hypno will use Trick Room to reset it. So to begin, we have a Ninetales in using Safeguard. It's setting Sun. It will probably live. It doesn't matter all that much. This fight isn't super prescriptive in that you need Pokemon to die on a specific turn in order to allow very specific damage percentages to go off, like a fight like Darkrai. So there's a lot more forgiveness. A lot of our Pokemon lived, not a big deal. We're just going to continue doing the fight sort of as planned, trying to use Trick Room on turn 2 here, despite the fact that we may not actually get to the Trick Room on the following turn. So we're going through the Sucker Punchers now in turn 3. The Spiritomb, I think, is going to live for a little while. Things of note, we are doing Sun. If you run into a Tyranitar as an ad, it's worth just resetting. Obviously, Sand will not do well for our Sun mixed attacking group in terms of type. So our Honchkrows will all get one hit by the Focus Blast of the Hypno, or almost one hit. At this point, if you haven't hit Trick Room quite yet, I don't think it will matter too much. A lot of the time, the Hypno isn't hitting all that hard, especially when it's hitting neutrally. So you can deal with a lot of stuff. You can kind of just roll with the punches. We do have 2 Flare Blitzers in now, despite the Trick Room was not supposed to go off. We did finally get over the line, though, with the Spiritomb's Sucker Punch doing about 2.7%. So it's, like I said, a pretty forgiving fight. This is a 3-star after all. Again, these are all recommendations. You can go with Flare Blitzers on turn 2 like we did here. I just recommend Sucker Punch in case they live that second turn. A lot of Pokemon will tend to live the damage output from the 3-turn Hypno and the relatively weak or, kind of weird moveset of ads. Diversity of ads here. You can see that also the Spiritomb user won't get their Sucker Puncher in for a while, so you'll have that additional Mon to push you over the line for Trick Room. And then we barely get to our fighting users by the time it really matters. So it is a very, very, very easy fight. Most of us have our 4th and 5th Mon remaining when it goes down, or we're on our 5th Mon. So super, super easy. Very straightforward. Once you deal with the mechanics, doing the Trick Room early matters. If you wanted to get very cute, you could probably do some weird stuff. Maybe like Mach Punch priority late. If you wanted to dodge Trick Room, you could do like all Sucker Punch, all Mach Punch. There's a lot of ways to beat this boss and do it successfully, but that's my personal recommendation. Good luck experimenting. I think this will be a pretty tough solo queue. You'll have to deal with Trick Room on your own. I recommend probably just going for all priority or trying to deal with Trick Room somehow. Best of luck. See you in the next one.